Seems like everyone these days is relocating to another state or another city. But do you want to know the cities where everyone is leaving?
Where are we, man? I don't know, man.
I think you need to know that before you make your decision on where you're going to move to. So this week I'm going to share with you the 10 cities that everyone is leaving in 2023. Some of the cities on this list, I was a little surprised, but then there are some that I'm not surprised. They've been on a decline for years. I mean, some of these cities have been on a decline since the 1950s. Yeah. And the main reason why they've been on a decline is because of the high crime rates and the poverty levels. I mean, some of these cities, they are making well below the national median household income. So I totally understand why these cities are struggling and losing people. So let's get into this right now. Starting off at number 10 is Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore has been struggling for quite some time now, and I've known this for a long time. It's not been the best city. And it's a shame because Baltimore, like the Inner Harbor, we had the aquarium, the Science Museum, Fells Point. You could take a ferry to Fells Point. It's a great place to visit. So I was really sad to see. It's like, oh God, here we go. Baltimore still hasn't done anything to improve the surrounding parts of the city outside of Inner Harbor. But the high crime rate and extreme poverty levels is what's caused such a decline in Baltimore. Baltimore's population peaked at 1 million back in the 1950s. And right now, they're down to about half. There's about 550,000 residents living in Baltimore. The median household income in Baltimore is $37,000 a year. Now, the national median income, it's $70,000 a year. So that's about half the national median income. That's just shocking. Their aging infrastructure is also a major issue in the city, and that's why people are just up and leaving. So Baltimore is in need of some serious revitalization. It's projected now the city's going to see another 9% decline in population by 2030. Number 9, Kansas City, Missouri. This is one of the cities I was surprised about. I did not expect to see this on the list, but listen to this. The violent crime, which is so shocking, is the biggest driver of people leaving the city. Their violent crime rate is so high. Even though the officials have been trying to revitalize Kansas City to bring in young professionals and businesses and what have you, that crime rate is really having an effect on them, and it's not working. The median income in Kansas City is $50,000. Now, it's a little less than the national median at $70,000, but still. The violent crime rate in Kansas City is 900 incidents per 100,000 residents. So that's pretty bad. I mean, who would have thought in Kansas City? At number 8, we have Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis has been on the decline more so in recent years. And again, it's the high violent crime rate. Now, the median income there in Minneapolis is near the national average, but they still have a violent crime rate of 1,000 incidents per 100,000 residents. So that's a really high rate. And that's enough to drive people out of that city. The city did see a gain in 2020 of 26,000 residents, but they're not projecting it to stay that way. They're looking at some major declines in population in the coming years. At number 7, we have Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh my God, really? Milwaukee? Like the home of Happy Days? And Laverne and Shirley? Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? Who would have thought? This is one of the cities on the list I could not believe when I saw this. Now, granted, I know those are TV shows I'm referring to, but that's what I think of when I think of Milwaukee. You wouldn't think it was a city that everybody's leaving, but here we are. It is one. Just like the previous cities I mentioned, Milwaukee suffers from a high crime rate. The crime rate is 1,100 incidents per 100,000 residents. So it's one of the higher ones compared to the previous cities I just listed. The median income in Milwaukee is $40,000 per year. So it's well below the national median. Between 2010 and 2020, Milwaukee lost 21,000 residents. And the future does not look bright for Milwaukee because they're anticipating another decline of 3.5% by 2030. Coming in at number 6, Cincinnati, Ohio. This city has been battling with economic challenges for a very long time. And again, high crime rate, low median income levels, It's no wonder Cincinnati is seeing a population decline. There have been some positive developments with some major business growth, but they are still struggling to get this city back up on its feet. Cincinnati's crime rate was 1,100 incidents per 100,000 residents. That crime rate is a big issue, and it's going to continue to be a struggle for them to bring that city back if they don't get that crime under control. At number 5, we have Buffalo, New York. Buffalo did see a slight population increase in 2020, and that was more of an anomaly because of what was going on in 2020 when you had the rising home prices, and Buffalo was still one of those places you could afford to live. But now they're projecting a decline in population in the coming years. Buffalo was hit hard by the manufacturing industry, so because of that, people are they're just moving on out. The population in Buffalo right now is 278,000 residents. And like the other cities, they are suffering from a high crime rate. Their crime rate is 1,400 incidents per 100,000 residents. Yeah, not so safe. At number 4, we have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, believe it or not, has seen a resurgence in recent years, but it's still facing its challenges. With high crime rates, it's struggling to attract young professionals and new businesses into the city. The population back in 1950 was 676,000 people. Now the population is down to 301,000. It's estimated that Pittsburgh is going to lose another 11% of its population by the year 2030. Again, this is all due to the high crime rate. Pittsburgh's crime rate is 1,500 incidents per 100,000 residents. Oh my God, that's a lot. At number 3, St. Louis, Missouri. This was another one I was really surprised to see on this list. It's St. Louis. Like, who'd have thought that St. Louis would be that bad? It's pretty bad. The high crime and declining economy is what's killing that population in St. Louis. The median income in St. Louis is $40,000 a year. And the violent crime rate, it's 1,800 incidents per 100,000 residents. That is so disturbing. I could not believe when I saw that number. Like when I think of St. Louis, I think of that arch in St. Louis, and it just always looked like to me like a really nice city. I've never been there, but who knew that this city was suffering so much? Number 2, we have Cleveland, Ohio. The home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has been struggling keeping its residents there. Cleveland is just like Buffalo. They had a decline in manufacturing, so loss of a lot of jobs. The median income there is $30,000. Really scary. That's like total poverty levels. I was just shocked to see that. The violent crime rate is alarming in Cleveland. It has 2,300 incidents per 100,000 residents. Oh my God. Who knew? Like I always heard Cleveland wasn't the best. I've been there. I visited Cleveland. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like where we stayed, it really wasn't bad. I didn't find any issue with it, but reading these numbers, I'm a little shocked to see what's going on out there. Cleveland is also projected to lose another 12% of its residents by 2030. Coming in at number 1, Detroit, Michigan. Good old Motor City, Rock City, whatever you want to call it. It's a declining city, and it's been declining for years. It all began with the decline in the auto industry, and lots of jobs were lost there, and they really haven't been able to recover since then. There have been attempts to revitalize the city, but it's just not working. The crime rate in Detroit, oh yeah, 2,700 incidents per 100,000 residents. The crime rate is through the roof in Detroit. The median income there is $35,000 a year. So Detroit is still in really bad shape. And I hate to be knocking this city. I'm not trying to knock it, but it's been that way for a long time. And it's just sad to see that it's still there. It's still not the best place to visit or to live. So here we are. They're still in the same boat as they were back in the 1970s. So the common theme among all these cities is the crime rate. And I think if those things can be addressed and some type of revitalization can be brought to these cities, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could get some affordable housing options in these cities so people can live there? I would love to see something like that happen. If you live in any of these cities or know people from there, or you're like you live near these cities, let me know in the comments below. What is it really like? Is it really true, this information I'm giving you? And I'm getting this off another website, so curious to hear from you, the viewer, what you think, and tell me what's really going on. If you are looking for a real estate agent in your area, please click the link below down in the description box. I'll get you connected to a great real estate agent in your area to help you buy or sell your home. And if you want to learn more about the most affordable places to live in the United States, I highly suggest you look at this video right here. Thank you so much for watching me today. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.